What's up, everyone? Welcome to LA Sparks Weekly pregame report. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and the one and only
Michael Matthew here, back with you here for the Minnesota Lynx and Sparks Part 3.
I mean,
Again, they are back at it, man.
yeah, they definitely are here at Crypto.com Arena. And we're going to experience a very good game because this is somewhat of a revenge game, you can call, with the LA Sparks losing two first games against Minnesota. Minnesota only got 3 wins all season long.
3-8.
Yeah, so 2 out of those 3 are against LA. What can LA do today to possibly not go down 0-3 to Minnesota tonight?
Man, so they don't want to lose 3 straight period after taking the L against Connecticut on Father's Day. So it's going to all be about getting Nneka going. Last time they faced off, Nneka had a tough game. She had about 8 points. They were very physical down low. The Sparks started off fast, had a 10-point lead in the third quarter, but it wasn't enough. So it's going to be all about Nneka tonight. Get Nneka going. It's on you, Coach Curt Miller.
As well, everyone get Nneka going to the WNBA All-Star Game as well. Make sure everyone goes out and vote today.
Yes.
Because we definitely want to see Nneka out there. And possibly Shanae, Lexi,
Yep.
maybe De'Erica Hamby. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because Hamby is another player that I was talking about last night on Monday Night Fredo. Everyone tune in Monday Night Fredo on Infinity TV. I was talking about, De'Erica Hamby. I was talking about her saying that if she can step up and be that consistent player next to Shanae, next to Nneka, and Jordan Canada being magnificent all year long.
Yes.
De'Erica Hamby, I feel like she is a key player to this team. Do you kind of see that a little bit?
No, I agree. Like, they need her to be at her very best. We talk about it last year. They tried it with Liz next to Nneka. It didn't work out. Shanae seems more like a better fit coming off the bench. But if De'Erica can play the way that she plays, all-star basketball, it takes the team to another level, especially with JC playing the way she is, especially with Lexi Brown playing the way that she is. So it's going to be about the ladies inside, Nneka, De'Erica. They're going to be a big part of this team's success.
Yes, definitely. And, of course, we're going to be part of your success because if you guys watch LA Sparks Weekly, we are going to bring you everything. Everything you got to know about the Los Angeles Sparks. Michael Matthew, give us your pregame prediction right now before we get going.
Prediction. Can they possibly lose again to the Lynx? I don't see it. I believe that the Sparks are going to figure it out. They're going to figure out how to get some buckets in the paint, and they're going to continue to do a good job on the wing. The Sparks finally figure out to beat the Lynx, right? I believe so.
Oh, let's definitely all believe so. And every single fan that's going to be in the arena tonight, of course, everyone watch the game tonight, 7 o'clock Pacific time. You can catch that on Time Warner Spectrum on Sportsnet, so you can definitely catch that game. But ladies and gentlemen, me and Michael will catch you guys during halftime here on Infinity TV, LA Sparks Weekly.
Oh, yeah.
I watch tonight is that our percentage of attempts from the three-point line don't creep too high for our disliking. That they're trying. There's a reason you're open, right, in basketball, no matter what level. There's a reason certain people are open, and that's what Minnesota did a really good job the other night. They got people open for us who they wanted open, and now we've got to turn down some of those, and then we got to step up and make some of those. Sorry, long-winded.
Curt, you've been really happy with the way your team's competed. The last 2 games didn't result in the win. So what is it going to take to turn some of the competitiveness into some wins, especially here at home?
Yeah, it's difficult. Like we want to get to the finish line, and we've put ourselves in such a position. I think it's a credit to their buy-in to the preparation on how well we've played early in ball games. Yeah, it's a true credit to the preparation of the buy-in and the game plans. As the game settles in and adjustments are made and they figure out what we're trying to scheme to do, then late, it's going to come down to that execution. Again, talk about discipline and then, finding our way to the finish line to just make us feel good. It will feel good if they can find a way to the finish line. And it's not easy with 2 starters out. And 2 veteran guards. It's not easy to win in this league anyways. It's very splitting hairs on how easy or hard it is to win in this league. So it is what it is. Those players are not coming back through the door right now, and so trying to find our way to the finish line is big.
With Jasmine, how I guess, what hurdles are left for her as she comes back from this injury? Like, how have you seen her progress since she's gotten back on the court?
Yeah, again, the body doesn't always do what the mind, wants to do. She's played a certain way, at a certain speed, at a certain athleticism her whole career, and dealing and navigating this first major injury. She's certainly not as explosive as Jasmine Thomas has been throughout her career. So right now, watching her try to adjust to her new normal right now, and that doesn't mean she's not going to get some of the explosiveness back and move more fluidly, week by week, month by month here in the season. But right now, trying to just have her be patient with herself and getting used to the new normal of what she's capable of doing right now.
Coach, you've mentioned a couple times during this conference that, the team that executes the best is going to win this game. After losing 2 games to the Lynx, what would it mean to you and the team to execute the best and actually win this game?
Yeah, I think it would mean a lot because I throw records out, I throw records out. What I appreciate about Minnesota is they're really smart and they execute really well. And, it's ironic because down the stretch in each game, Rachel Banham's on the floor making big plays. I drafted her, coached her for a long time, desire to coach her. She's really smart. Bridget Carlton hurt us big time in the fourth quarter, in Minnesota. Drafted her, coached her. I just have such great respect for their ability to execute. Fee's one of the smartest players in our league, and on top of talent. So they just have the ability when they need to step up and execute, and they've out-executed us in the big moments. And so, that's a big challenge. A win against a smart team like a Minnesota would give us so much confidence that we can compete against the best teams with the most talent, but also smart teams that are execution teams.
Hey, Coach. Zaya's got the start the last couple of games. What have you seen from her, how she handled that role? And then also another one, Chene, and her return. What have you seen from her?
Yeah, let me take Chene first. Obviously excited to have her back. Gives us a defensive presence. It adds post depth to, the bench. Brought her off the bench, since coming back. But she just, she really understands how to play, and in some ways is our best, we call it congestion, maybe our best helper. She helps clog up the lane, probably best of any of the post players. So, glad to have her back. And again, she hasn't missed a beat. And after not playing at all, has been able to step back up there and really help and contribute. So excited about that. Excited about Zaya, getting those 2 starts. Talked about it all the time, how many rookies are starting in this league right now, and regardless of the circumstances, she had earned that opportunity. And so excited for her. Need her to just relax. I think she's out there sometimes paralyzed with thought. It's not easy. We have a top 5 defensive efficiency or defensive rating team right now in the league, and there's moments where it's just complicated, and I get ahead of myself and I get excited, and I'm gonna be me, and we're gonna coach like crazy, and we have like 13 different coverages on 13 different actions, and you can just see Zaya out times they're processing, going, okay, this we do what, and that we do what, and this, and then she's half a second late, and in this league now you're in real trouble. So, my hope is to dummy it down at times, and so the game slows down for her and that she feels more comfortable on the court, because I think right now I have her, paralyzed at times with too many things going on out there. So we're going to try to keep tonight. We'll see how it works. One of the goals tonight is keep a little bit more simplistic and not so complex and multifaceted in what we try to do.
Coach, just to follow up with that, through your experience in the league, how long does it typically take a player to get comfortable, if you will?
Yeah, everybody's a little bit different. My again, I will say that I'm a large playbook offensive guy. We are a multifaceted, scheming defensive team. So it takes maybe even longer in our system, an understanding. But the one thing that Zaya has is she's played in big games. She's not afraid of the big moment. She's had to make big plays. Let's talk. Like, she was the leading scorer on that South Carolina team last year. At times was asked to guard the best player. Aaliyah obviously gets a lot of the press. Bree Beal got a lot of the defensive press. And at the same time, here's Zaya, who leads them in scoring and is guarding the best player. So what I'm excited about is she's not afraid, and she's played in big games, and she'll just continue to get better and better. And we got to do a better job of putting her in position to be successful, and at the same time giving her some grace and giving her some compassion and empathy when she gets exploited by this really talented league. All rookies at some point get exploited. I love the stories of that young players in the league. It's like, okay, who really got you the first time? And hear their stories about these great stars really taking them to them. Zaya's accumulating those stories right now, and it's going to be better. But I'm proud that she's a spark. Her best days are ahead of her. We're not going to dwell on her health, but she's certainly not 100%. People missing games is written about right now for us, but we have so many people not 100% that are actually playing. It's been an uncanny year, and one I've never experienced. Great, thank you, Coach. Thanks.
Zai, the last two games you've been in the starting lineup, obviously with some injuries put you there, but what's been your assessment of the way you've been able to play in this new role?
I think it's definitely new, like you said. Getting out there, I'm not so much nervous, but I'm not used to getting out there and having to make decisions right off the back. I usually have time to watch somebody else and then go out there and play. So I think that was kind of an adjustment for me. But definitely starting those 3 games was definitely fun and a great experience. And hopefully down my career, that's somewhere I can stay.
What's it been like having Henny around?
Oh, it's been great. It's been real good. We've been talking to each other. The first day she got here, I gave her a whole bunch of plays so she can remember them. And we only got in the game for a little bit the first time we played together, but I think down the road it'll be more of that. And it's exciting to be on the floor with her because she knows me as a player. I know her, and we get each other going.
This will be the third time that you've seen the Lynx in this short period, basically just a little bit over a week. What do you think it's going to take to get this win tonight?
I think it's just defense. We can sit here and talk about offense all day, but defense wins games, and we have to lock into the game plan a little bit more, really try to get some stops, and then obviously our defense will fuel our offense, and we'll score after that.
Oh, I think she just said it all, really. We just got to lock into our defensive strategies, making sure we're doing the little things, and we got to close out games. I think that's something that we really got to lock into doing.
Curt was just in here talking about rookies like Zaya having like their welcome to the WNBA moment. So now as a young vet in this league, like do you remember your welcome to the WNBA moment? Like, which vet got you when you were a rookie?
A few vets tried to get me. Well, I remember we were playing Minnesota actually, and Simone cleared out everyone and tried to cross me up, and she missed a shot, but she kind of did cross me though. I was so embarrassed.
Wait, what did he say was mine?
Oh, he didn't have one for you.
Oh, okay, you did. Okay.
You said you were accumulating some stories. Yeah.
Oh.
And then the same game, I had to play the 3 a little bit, and I was guarding Maya, and she did not stop moving, and I was tired after 2 seconds, chasing her around. So both of those are like my welcome to the league moments. Maybe Candace too with that freaking fake she does. She did that to me too, but I didn't really go for it.
Zai, do you have one at the top of your head? I know it's still early in the season. But
Oh,
do
yeah.
you have one?
I mean, a lot of people say that my welcome to the league moment when Asia blocked my shot and threw it in the stands. So I guess you can say that.
South Carolina on South Carolina.
Yeah, it's all good.
Azra, you've been playing pretty good over the since you joined this team this year, and how can you develop to maybe help this team out to take it to the next level here? Because you certainly have the potential to help this team out.
Yeah, I think just being a leader more, being more consistent, and continuing to do what I do, which is provide whatever the team needs on any given night. I think we've seen I had to play the 3, the 4, 5 in different times, and that's just who I am as a player. I'm gonna do whatever the team needs. So I think just continuing to bring that every night, rebounding more. I definitely can focus on that a little bit more, and I think just being a little more vocal during the games, trying to help connect the team more on the court. I get a little passionate sometimes, and it throws me off of my focus. But I think just continuing to try to get us all together and on the same page with my communication, because I think that's really important.
Azure, how close to you are being 100% comfortable with the Sparks? And by the way, pizza is great.
I'm 100% comfortable. I think it's taken some time, but I think the last couple of games, everyone can see I've definitely hit in a stride, and we're only getting better, especially with the post group, the 3, 4, and 5, that big lineup. We're still adjusting, but you can tell every game we're getting more and more comfortable. So, every day I'm getting more comfortable, but I'm 100% comfortable right now.
And we have Jesse on NBA.com.
Hi, thanks for taking the question. Jesse Barish, WNBA lead. You just as you were mentioning, talking about getting more comfortable, and Zaya, I'm sure that the more minutes you get, the more you get comfortable at this level. I just wanted to ask, what do you have? I know you all have more in your bag than we've seen already. So, what are you most excited to show as you continue to get more comfortable?
I don't know. I think for me, it's more of going off the bounce more. I think we can all see I can shoot threes, I can play post up, but now that next level is bridging the two and taking people more off the bounce and continuing to pass. I like getting my teammates good shots, and I love being able to pass to Nneka high-low, us working that out. Same with Erica, even Shanae. So I'm trying to make sure that I continue to do that, set my teammates up passing-wise and bridge the gap between just shooting threes and just posting up.
For me, was that for me too? Oh, my bad. I think for me, on the defensive end, once I really learn these players and learn their systems, I think I'm gonna be way better at playing defense. And then also on the offensive end, just being real comfortable. And I want to be able to be as comfortable as I was in college, and just making it all come together for myself. It's a lot quicker here in the league, so I gotta know that we can throw dump passes. I gotta know all the little things to help my game out. So just being more comfortable is something that I want to do, and once I'm able to do that, then the bag will just expand.
Thank you. Have a good one tonight.
Great, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure.
And we're back here on the LA Sparks Weekly Halftime Report. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and
Michael Matthew here, and it's been a really good game so far, really close, much different than, the last time they were here. But, some real good basketball being played right now.
No, definitely. There is a lot of great basketball going on right now with the Sparks up by 1, 33-32. Michael, we got a chance to see Zaya Cook come off the bench today.
Yeah.
After starting the last 2 games.
Yeah.
What did you look at her right now so far?
Her confidence is a little shot. She just has to play more. It's going to come down to coach giving her an opportunity to just play ball. And, when she get on the court, she just has to be herself. She's going to make mistakes. It comes with the game, but she just has to play and stay confident.
Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the WNBA All-Star. Should be a starter this year.
Yep.
Nneka Ogwumike.
Yep.
11 points in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter.
Yep.
Where was that meltdown for her in the second quarter?
Second quarter, they just put more of an effort on her. I think they focused in the first quarter on Jordan Canada. Second quarter, they said, let's take away Nneka before she has a big-time game. But, man, I was surprised, and I really like seeing Ray Burrell. She made some nice plays, made a nice drive, a three-point shot. I want to see more minutes for Ray.
Yeah, seriously, and a little more of Destiny Henderson as well. Of course, Ray Burrell and Destiny are both on the hardship contracts right now. As we see them getting warmed up, talking about Ray, she's right behind us right now.
Yeah.
Here balling out.
So hopefully she gets some more run, man. She's a hooper. She's something that the team needs. Somebody that's long, athletic, that can run the floor, finish at the rim. But, it's going to be up to the second half. They've played well the last few games in the second half and have lost games. Now let's see if, in a close game with them up 1 point, if they can finish this game strong.
Right, definitely. That is one thing we got to look at. We are just minutes away. Last thing right now, what do we expect LA right now in the second half? What do they have to do to not get swept 3 games by the Sparks?
They have to make shots, and that's what it's going to be all about. But let's get up out of here,
Let's go, man. We'll see you guys. Woo!
My opening statement is, man, we didn't execute all game. I'll take questions.
Coach, I saw you tried the bigger lineup there with De'Erica, Chene, and Nneka. What things were you looking to get out of that lineup?
We're just trying to find any momentum. Again, that's a lineup we have yet to practice 1 minute, not 1 minute, and in a practice, not one. That's how much we were searching tonight. We just couldn't find any kind of rhythm and thought, at one point, can we just start to get the ball in the paint because of how many threes we were taking again. And we found, some, intermittent success with that big lineup, getting the ball in the paint.
Hey, Coach, here, Fredo Cervantes with Infinity TV. You dropped the first 3 games against Minnesota and dropping the first 3 here in your 5-game homestand. What do you have to do now to try to close this homestand in a good note?
Yeah, we just got to try to keep getting better. Thursday should be finally a practice, so we get to practice. We haven't practiced with our hardship players and Destiny and Ray being back. Ray was obviously with us for a little bit, just trying to get better that way. Obviously, we're banged up and injured with 2 starters out, but we've just got to keep plugging and try to keep getting better with this group. We're in games. But the execution down the stretch of games is really magnified that we, with the exception of Nneka and all the attention's on Nneka, can someone else step up and make a play? Didn't score the last 3 minutes of Connecticut, didn't score the last 2:47 tonight.
Coach, you had your challenge in your back pocket that whole fourth quarter. I'm just curious, is it like something you think about yet in terms of using that, or were there just no plays that really popped up?
Yeah, it's always there. Obviously, you have to have timeouts, and so there's always consideration on are you going to need timeouts later in a close game, and is it a play you think you can win? You just don't challenge the challenge.
Ray Morales, Sporting Tribune. Speaking of Ray Burrell had 7 points today. What do you take away from her performance?
Yeah, I just thought she brought some energy and fearlessness. She, again, doesn't know our entire playbook, doesn't know everything, but was with us a little bit. Good to have her back, to have another body to at least throw in there when, people are struggling.
When you're struggling like that, when you can kind of look back on it, what do you wish you could do in those situations? You mentioned get the ball inside, but do you feel like it might have been an opportunity, maybe, I don't know, even to go to like some sort of ISO just to get somebody doing something?
Yeah, we don't have isolation players, but you're just searching for everything, and in those moments, and you look tired. Both teams are really struggling. Both teams played poorly. They just made more plays down the stretch.
Coach, as you said, you're just trying to find lineups that work, something, to get things going. I mean, one player out there that, you're familiar with, obviously, is Jasmine. Obviously she's still kind of, getting back into game speed and whatnot. But in terms of, what she's able to bring out there, just what have you seen from her in?
Yeah, I think just the experience. She has the veteran poise that she understands what we're trying to do. She can't physically do everything right now, and she's limited, but in terms of cerebral, she sees things. She knows what has to happen, It's just she's not as, as in good a game shape right now, or have all her obviously explosiveness back after the injury. But her knowledge of the game, her experience, is she understands what's going on out there. I just feel bad for her that she can't always physically do everything that she would like to right now.
Hey, Coach. Jeff with LA Sparks Weekly. I'm curious, the fourth quarter troubles, is that because players are out and the team's getting a little tired, or is it just kind of time for a gut check in that fourth quarter and pull the team through?
Yeah, there's never one thing. Obviously, you talk about, being tough in the big moments, but, like who's going to step up? And especially if they try desperately to take away Nneka, late, who else can step up and make a play for you? And again, we'll keep hunting for schemes that might break people open and get people open, but we've got to have people step up in those moments. There's no doubt. And these guys are in different roles than they've ever been in their careers. Some outside of Nneka, they're all being asked to shoulder a bigger load.
In terms of that fourth quarter execution, do you expect that to be something that kind of comes along as you practice more, as the season goes on? I mean, this is a pretty new group still.
Yeah, I would hope once we get a little practices that we'll get better at it and understand maybe actions that are working for us.
Coach, real quick, before Lexi went out, I believe she was your second leading scorer. Whenever she's able to get back in this lineup, what do you think it's going to mean for the team?
Yeah, huge. I mean, obviously is a bona fide WNBA shooter, so she naturally spaces the floor. We ran tons of actions. We had Nneka and Lexi in two-man game actions all the time in different ways. So, again, it gives us a weapon back. It gives someone that can go make a play, but even just her presence on the floor loosens things up for everybody else. Thank you.
Yeah, you were.
Nneka, Curt was just in here talking about some of the lack of execution, especially late in the game, for you as leader on this team and one of the veterans. Like, what are you seeing in terms of the way this team is executing, especially late in games?
I mean, for me, I think that, today probably was one of our least, one of our weakest executing games. I personally, as someone who's with my teammates, I personally think it had to do with fatigue. I think that you have to stay sharp in these types of games. Everybody's playing a lot of games this season, and we just finished kind of like a tough stretch, but we have to figure out a way to stay sharp in those last moments. And for it to sustain, 40 minutes, I think really shows kind of like a fatigue, which, starts creating mental slippage.
So, third matchup with the Lynx, they were able to, win each one of them. What do you think they do to kind of take away some of your bread and butter stuff late in the game?
They definitely congest, that's for sure. I think the second game was probably the hardest because it was very hard to get points in the paint, and that's obviously our strength. So today, there was a little bit, we were able to kind of create a game plan that created more fluidity, but it really does come down to being able to run plays and get the right shots that we want at the good times in the game. Yeah.
Nneka, Coach was talking about how much two-player action you and Lexi run when she's in the game, and I'm just curious how you feel her absence, given that she's been out these last few games.
Yeah, I mean, what Lexi offers to our team makes the court feel bigger. And so without her, it shrinks the court, and it makes it difficult for us to move and play in space. And then, of course, having a look at two-player action with a player like Lexi, I'm able to get into it with JC, at times with Zaya, and then, without Lexi, it kind of limits that, extra, I guess, dimension to our offense, because it's difficult to guard both of us in action. And we just got to figure out how we can do that until she comes back.
And Nneka, last game we talked about the big lineup, yourself, De'Erica, Azare. Today, the lineup that got a lot of minutes was yourself, Shanae, and De'Erica. Coach was just talking about how that's another group lineup that you haven't had much time to practice with. But in terms of that group out there, what did you feel? What's your comfort level with that group? What did you see from that? That you can take away.
I really like it. We as teammates have been kind of talking and advocating for that type of rotation. I think the danger for other people guarding us with that lineup is that you have three very mobile, big players, and we had a little bit of a stretch right there where we were all posting up, we were all popping out, we were all passing to each other, and also it's a really great rebounding front court. So I like it, and I'm sure that we're going to see more of it considering the run that we were able to make or at least sustain while we played with that lineup tonight.
Hey, Ray, question for you. 7.7 minutes. You brought a lot of energy out there.
Sure, buddy.
Just how confident are you in yourself that you can, be impactful for this team?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one of my things for this team is to bring the energy not only on the court but just in the locker room. Just being that spark off the bench and doing whatever the team needs me to do at that time. And they were able to get me in good positions to score, so I just was able to finish. So shout out to my teammates.
Hi, Nneka. LA Sparks Weekly. You mentioned the fatigue. I'm curious. Is the fatigue just simply from the normal WNBA schedule? Is it from the injuries or some of the rotations? What do you attribute that fatigue to in the fourth quarters?
I think there's a lot of variables. I mean, a lot of teams have hardship players right now. That doesn't make it easy. And, the schedule is also tough. I think June is actually our hardest month in terms of the cadence of games. Yeah, it's kind of everything.
How quick can you turn the page to this back-to-back you got on Friday and Sunday with the Dallas Wings?
Like how quickly can we start focusing on that?
Yeah.
We're probably going to focus on that on Thursday at practice. Yeah, I mean, people are still dwelling on this loss. There were mistakes that were made by competitors in that locker room that aren't happy with how it ended. So I think it's okay to sit with that. That's okay. It's okay to have that that type of passion for the game. But then Thursday we're going to turn back around and get ready for Dallas.
Last question on Zoom, Jesse. We'll go with Jesse.
Hey, Jesse Barish, WNBA lead. Thanks for taking the question. And this is for both of you. This is all a roller coaster with players missing time. With Ray, this is your second time back on a hardship. Everything's up and down. So I want to say, what do you do tomorrow? What's your off day thing to kind of get your mentals right and get back locked in for the next game?
Well, isn't tomorrow your birthday?
Well, tomorrow's my birthday,
Yeah.
so.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. So, I mean, for me, I'm just going to, my family's here, so I'm going to enjoy time with my family and try to enjoy my birthday. Obviously, it sucks that we lost, but, you only get one birthday a year, so I'm just going to try to enjoy my day.
How about you, Nneka?
I'm going to lay down. I'm going to lay down.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys later.
Welcome to the post-game report here with LA Sparks Weekly. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and
Michael Matthew here. We've seen a tough game tonight. Fredo, we're ready to talk about it. Let's get it out there.
Yes, we just walked out of the post-game conference here with the players and the coach. We got a chance to talk to Coach and the players. Nneka and Ray was also there.
Yep.
First of all, let's talk a little bit before we talk about the bad stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about the good stuff with Nneka Ogwumike finishing the game with 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. I mean, what can we say about Miss Consistent?
Man, Nneka is an all-star. Nneka, I put it on Instagram, I put it on Twitter a few games ago. Nneka's a Hall of Famer, and that's what she's continues to give you those type of performances. She's a baller, and nearly another 20 and 10 night. She's a difference maker every night. She just needs players to step up around her. You know, it sucks that Lasia isn't there, that Lexi Brown is still out with the illness, but players have to step up. I remember a couple games ago, Zaya said it in the press conference. People just have to step up. That's exactly what the Sparks need to help Nneka so that this team can get more victories.
Well, one player that did not step up today was Azura Stevens, who went 0 for 8 with 0 points today. Didn't get a chance to grab 2 rebounds and 2 assists. I did get a chance to ask Azura pregame. I told her, like, hey, what's it going to take for you to step up to the next level? Because I feel like when she plays out here on the court and she's fast, grabbing the rebounds and shooting the 3 ball, because she can definitely extend the 3-point line for the Sparks. The Sparks are going with her. And today, I don't know. I mean, it was that 0-8 type of game. It's like, I don't know what this team is going to be doing. Some coaching decisions late in the game that could have been called for the right player, because it seemed like Shanae had 2 crucial turnovers late in the fourth quarter. Very big turnovers there. And Nneka, it just seems like she's just always getting doubled.
Yeah, she's
always
gassed.
getting doubled. And Canada, at times, she was able to drive in, miss a few of the floaters up there. Now, early in the season, they're 5-7 now. 5-7 after the first 12 games. We got another game here, back-to-back with the Dallas Wings Friday night and Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon might be a pretty interesting game because it is a primetime game on ABC. So everyone can go ahead and check that out. But let's just flip the page from what we witnessed with Minnesota. Let's look at the Dallas Wings now. You know, the Sparks were in Dallas about a week ago, last Wednesday.
Smacked them pretty good.
Pretty good. And now they won by, I believe it was 17 points they won by.
17, 18
what should we expect? I know there's no word yet on Lexi Brown, but what should we expect with 2 games back-to-back against the Wings?
First of all, they're going to be able to practice. Coach was talking about it, like being able to get a practice in on Thursday after a rest tomorrow. Going to see if the ladies going to be ready to go. It's a matchup I think that fits better. Their bigs play really well against Dallas when they matched up with the Wings earlier in the season. But I want to see more Ray. Like, I really think that Ray can be someone that brings athleticism, speed. She's going to run the floor. That energy she brings on the court, off the court, I think it's something the team really needs right now with all of these injuries and things. So I want to see Ray on the court, and I just think that defensively it's a better matchup. Minnesota is so tough and physical down low, and that's what the Sparks do best. Like Nneka said it in the press conference, that they're a team that's about points in the paint. But with a team like Minnesota, it's really tough. But with Dallas, they're not as big and strong inside. So I think that, you're going to see a better Sparks team come Friday night.
Well, we definitely want to go ahead and see that. And, of course, everyone can go ahead and follow us here on LA Sparks Weekly and get all of the latest coverage. But before we do get going, there's one name that I want to bring up today, Zaya Cook.
Yes.
She, after starting her first 2 games, the last 2 games here at Crypto, now Carly Samuelson took the starting spot today. Zaya only played 3.5 minutes.
Yes.
So, I mean, 3 minutes, that's technically nothing. There's no playing time. That's nothing you can adjust yourself to and get in the flow of the game, especially when she's been out of the flow. You know? What can coach do, and what can some of the staff
player
that
she has to let this young lady play. We all seen her. We all followed her since high school with the great mixtape, and we saw her at South Carolina champion, being one of the best players and scorers. I believe that confidence. You have to have confidence, and the coach, that can be something the coach give by giving minutes. It's the same thing with Ray. I believe that if you play these young ladies, you will get a lot out of them. I understand his love and respect for Carly's game and Jasmine's game and Azare's game, but these young ladies are players that can bring a lot of energy, that can bring a lot of youth that the team really needs. So play Zaya Cook. How can a chef cook if they're not given a chance to, be in the kitchen? So let Zaya play, let her cook, and she's going to have some bad, of course, but hey, some good is going to come out of it. She's going to develop. This isn't a team I feel is going to win the championship this year. I don't know how you feel.
No, well, certainly. I mean, I believe early in the season they somewhat had a pretty bright chance. It looked kind of exciting. We were just talking about
they
that.
Were looking good,
how game 1 looked very exciting. It seemed like, okay, can they keep this up? But then, a little bug started going around the locker room. People started missing games, and then the injuries to Clarendon, and then the injury or the sickness of Lexi Brown being out for almost, what's this, her 3rd game miss? So, it's very crucial, especially, that's another thing. Play Zaya Cook, and Lexi Brown needs to get back on the court, plain and
Yeah,
simple.
yeah. When she's healthy, they're a way different team. That gives you 2 players that can score about 15 a game or more with her and Nneka. But, got to play some of these young players. Like I said, I don't believe that they're a team that you're saying that they're going to be there at the end. So try to develop some of these players because I think you can win enough games to get into the playoffs. With this loss, I don't know where it puts them, but they were like at number 6 prior to this game. So let these young players play. Let them figure it out. Them with the vets, I think, is a good mix. And, I think they can start to pick up some victories.
That's right. So, give major credit to the Minnesota Lynx for stealing 3 games against the Los Angeles Sparks, which puts the Lynx now at 4-8.
Yep.
3 out of those 4 wins are against Los Angeles. So we can certainly see what type of team Minnesota is going to be later on this year. But, of course, make sure everyone tunes in on Friday night. We'll be back here at the Crypto.com Arena with the Dallas Wings visiting the LA Sparks. And can LA kill this 3-game losing streak they're on right now? I hope so, right?
Let's see. So we thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you guys give us a follow. LA Sparks Weekly, Infinity Television. Michael here, Michael the PG. Fredo.
Yes, sir. Fredo Cervantes. Make sure you follow me as well on Twitter and Instagram at Fredo Cervantes. And, of course, subscribe. Hit that notification button so you can get notified every single time we got new LA Sparks content. All right? Kick it away, Michael.
Catch you Friday, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir.